Hi, my name is Sophie, and I'll be talking about something a little lighter, camp, opposed to the theory of relativity. So this past summer, the summer before my senior year, I worked at a camp called Frost Valley in Claryville, New York. I've been a camper there for a few summers, and I absolutely loved it. As a camper there, I had admired a unique program at the camp called MAC. MAC stands for Mainstreaming at Camp. In this program, children with developmental disabilities get the chance to mainstream with neurotypical children. I still remember the first mainstreaming activity I participated in when I was 14. My cabin was with Mini MAC, which is boys and girls ages 9 to 13. We were all sitting in a circle, and we were playing a game. I could tell that one of the campers in MAC wasn't very interested in the game, and he was sitting off to the side, and he was imitating a phone with his hand like this, and he was talking really loud into it. I could tell that one of the MAC counselors was getting pretty frustrated because he refused to join the circle and participate with everyone else. And so after a few minutes of this, I got up and I went over and sat with the boy, and I raised my hand to my face like this, and I kind of started a conversation like we were on the phone. And after a few minutes of this, I said, "Hey, why don't you come join me and we can sit in the circle and play the game that everyone else is playing?" He seemed to like the idea, and quickly he got up and joined the circle. I didn't think much of this until after the activity, when one of the MAC counselors came up to me and told me she was really impressed by what I had done. She encouraged me to apply for a counselor position in MAC when I was old enough. She said that I had a natural gift that not a lot of people have at such a young age. So I took her advice, and this past year, I applied for a counselor position. The application process was extremely competitive, but thankfully I got in. I worked for 7 weeks this past summer with boys ages 9 to 13 and girls ages 13 to 18. A week before camp started, all the counselors had training. Some of the MAC counselors had different training than the residential counselors had. For example, some of the MAC-specific training was behavioral management, ways of communication, learning about different diagnoses, and what to do when a camper has a seizure. I'm going to share some of the stuff that I learned from training and my experiences this past summer. I learned that behavior is a form of communication, and behaviors that at first seem disruptive are just a way of expression for some people. For example, when people act out, that usually means they are seeking attention. This is true for anyone. But working in this program, we had to find the reason behind certain behaviors, instead of getting frustrated by them. I also learned the importance of positive reinforcements. For example, I would say to a camper, "Thank you for asking to get up from the table." This kind of positive reinforcement would promote positive social experiences for the camper and also self-awareness. We also learned a technique called prime and preview. We would do this before going to an activity or when there would be a change in our normal camp schedule. For example, we would do this before a fire drill to prepare our campers for the loud, unexpected noise and also for the change in schedule. We would also use tools such as time timers and visual schedules to give visual representation of the activities of the day. And some campers really benefited from having something visually that they could look at, opposed to just hearing a list of activities being read off to them. Sorry, got my note cards mixed up. During training, I learned the terms regulating and deregulating. We would refer to these terms when talking about things that made our campers happy or things that made our campers upset or caused anxiety. For example, loud, unexpected noises may be deregulating for some people, while pulling grass or running your hands through sand would be regulating for some people. I know it is for me. It's just something that makes me happy and calms me down. We would use sensory tools such as moon sand and stress balls to help regulate our campers. And the counselors would use them as much as the campers, if not more. I had a camper this past summer who had his birthday while he was at camp. And every day leading up to his birthday, he would name off all the things that he wanted to have at this birthday party we were going to have for him. And between everything on his list, he would clap like this. So for example, one day he said, birthday cake, parcheesi, celery sticks, ninjas. And the list would go on, and he would do this all day and for the entire 2-week session. And as you can probably tell, we weren't able to give him everything that he wanted on the list. The ninjas were kind of a reach. But we realized that the clapping regulated him, and it made him happy, and it calmed him down. A few weeks ago, he actually FaceTimed me. And when I answered, he goes, "Hey, it's my birthday." And I said, "No, I think your birthday was during the summer. Remember, we celebrated it at camp?" And he was like, "Well, I'm just still celebrating." And it was perfect because that was the perfect way to describe this camper, because he loved having something to look forward to, and that also regulated him and made him happy. And his birthday was the perfect event for that, because as soon as 1 year passed, he looked forward to the next one. Through my training, and more importantly, my experiences, I learned the sensitivity of language. People first language is the changing of sentence structure. Is the changing of sentence structure to not solely define someone by disability, but to rather emphasize the person. So for example, instead of saying the autistic boy, you would say the boy with autism. This was very important to all the counselors because we never saw our campers as their disability or their diagnosis. We saw them as the personality that they were. So this kind of language was very important for the counselors. And then I also was educated about the Erase the R Word campaign. Often the word is misused and is used as a derogatory and hurtful term. Instead of calling someone dumb, people throw around that word without actually realizing what they're saying. Intellectually and developmentally disabled is replacing mental retardation as the politically correct term. In conclusion, my experiences and the people I met this past summer have changed my life for forever, and I can't wait to go back this next summer. Thank you.